Look closer. Even giants can become hosts, and something is feeding on the giant.
Before we even see the animal, dozens of parasites are already feeding deep inside one fold behind its ear. Move only a few centimeters, and another colony appears core. Then another, packed tightly against the giant's skin. Around the eyes, biting flies rise in clouds every time the hippo blinks, then settle again almost immediately. Only now do we see the host, an enormous hippopotamus carrying an entire hidden population across its body. Deep neck folds create sheltered feeding zones where clusters of parasites can remain almost impossible for the host to reach. Across the shoulder, another hotspot is expanding as smaller parasites crawl outward looking for fresh skin. Below the waterline, the softer belly carries still more parasites across areas the hippo cannot groom precisely. Even the tail can clear only the insects in the air. Attached parasites remain fixed beneath it. This is not one infected patch. The entire body has become a map of separate parasite colonies. He ripples his skin and throws hundreds of flies into the air, but the attached invaders hold on. So the giant sinks deeper, using the river to escape at least part of the attack above the surface. Underwater, the swarm disappears, but many parasites remain attached exactly where they were before. Then something begins approaching from below, not another parasite, but an animal attracted by the infestation itself. The first barbel moves against the skin, inspecting the surface before taking its first tiny mouthful. One fish becomes 3, then 6, each searching independently across the giant's submerged body. More arrive until the hippo is surrounded by a moving ring of small cleaners searching for food. Within moments, dozens of fish are moving around a single host, turning the river into an underwater cleaning station. One fish finds a dense patch beneath the belly, and nearby cleaners quickly converge on the same feeding opportunity. A small patch suddenly becomes crowded with mouths as dozens of tiny parasites provide food for multiple fish. One step from the host scatters the entire group, but the cleaners circle back as soon as the water settles. And before one patch is cleared, another heavy infestation appears only a short distance away. The fish graze across skin, parasites, and loose material, taking advantage of whatever food the giant provides. Then the most dangerous mouth in the river begins to open directly in front of them. Instead of fleeing, several fish return toward the lips and teeth, where more edible material can collect. For a few moments, the giant mouth becomes another feeding surface for cleaners small enough to work around its teeth. Eventually, the hippo walks toward land, and the underwater cleaning crew reaches the limit of where it can follow. As the upper body emerges, another landscape appears, heavily infested skin the fish could never reach. And almost immediately, the flying swarm begins rebuilding around the eyes, ears, and exposed skin. But the giant has left one cleaning crew only to enter the territory of another. One oxpecker becomes 3, each immediately searching a different section of the parasite-covered upper body. More birds arrive until 8 small bodies are moving across the neck, shoulders, and broad back. Soon the upper deck is crowded too, with a second cleaning army spread across the enormous animal. Behind the ear, 3 birds find another dense patch where dozens of parasites remain packed inside the folds. The hotspot turns into a feeding frenzy as birds crowd, reposition, and return each time the hippo flicks its ear. At the water's edge, both systems briefly overlap, birds above the surface and fish gathering below. One host now supports 2 separate feeding communities, each exploiting a different part of the same enormous body. Then one bird notices something easier than a parasite. A long, shallow scratch already sealed with dried blood. Behind the ear, 3 birds find another dense patch where dozens of parasites remain packed inside the folds. The bird backs away, but the scrape remains valuable food, hino, a reminder that cleaners are feeding for themselves. But while both cleaning armies work across the skin, something else is hiding in a place far harder to reach. Beneath the eyelid lives a parasite found nowhere on the skin the birds and fish have been cleaning. This is Oculotrema hippopotami, a specialized flatworm that lives around the eyes of hippopotamuses. Researchers have found as many as 24 on a single eye, hidden where ordinary cleaners cannot simply pick them away. 2 cleaning armies can patrol the giant's body dome, yet even they cannot reach every hidden battlefield. Next, the mongoose cleaning swarm. See you in the next episode.